Okay, apparently it's not freezing this time, so, hi guys, it's me, Jamie here again, and today's video is going to be about my opinion on Trump being nominated for president. One of my friends asked me this question because I was asking for suggestions, and, he asked me, like, what I thought about it and everything. And so I was going to make a video about it. And basically, being the age that I am, I don't really have much of a say in it, but truthfully, I feel like it's either going to go right or go wrong. Because in this nomination, in this campaign for 2016, it's like there's really no right or wrong answer. Because they both have flaws. They both act dumb in their own ways. But truthfully, okay, if Trump gets nominated, if Trump gets into office, I feel like there's gonna be a huge mob of people who are just unhappy with that decision. There's gonna be a big mob of people who are really happy with that decision. And hopefully not, but there may be possible rioting. I don't know. But for me personally, I really kind of mad that he is, because it's like, he's not in the government. Then maybe that's the good part about it. He's not been in the government, so he might have a better way of solving the issues and everything. It's just like there's certain laws that need to be passed, and there's certain bills that need to be signed. And then there's it's just like I really do wish somebody would do something about all the violence that's going around in the nation right now. It's like innocent people losing their lives, and again, they are cops. They chose to go down this path, but I don't think they intended on getting killed in the process. They intended on doing that as their job, protecting people. That's what they wanted to do. And I feel like even though they did sign up for it, it's they didn't plan on getting killed in the line of duty, No cop plans on doing that, They're ready for it if it comes, but it's just certain cops, especially ones that have only served a year, I don't think they expect to get killed in their first year of ever serving in the, police service. But yeah, Trump, truthfully, I feel like he's very strong-minded on what he wants, because he does own a business, and he is one of the many rich people in the nation. So it's kind of I feel like if he had a vice president, the vice president's not gonna have much say in it, he's just kind of gonna be there. And I feel like, okay, Trump, you need to get a new haircut, dude. You just do. I'm sorry. But you do. I just feel like he needs a new haircut, hairstyle, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, truthfully, the thing about me is I don't really know much about the government, really, I know that president vetoes and passes laws, and is the head of the military and everything, And it's Trump, truthfully, the whole campaign is a popularity contest. I'm sorry, but it is. It's Hillary, she's in it because she's a woman, and women want her to be a president because they want a woman to be president. And don't get me wrong, I want a woman to be president as much as the next girl does. I just don't want her specifically to be president. I just don't, And the reason why people like Trump so much is because he says the right things, He says the right things. He says that he's gonna give everyone their own job, It's you go do your job, you go do your job, stay out of each other's business, you just do your own jobs, And it's there's certain things that I wish the government would just do, because my big gripe is the whole gun violence thing and the whole violence in the whole nation, because it's just like what happened in Dallas, what happened in Nice, what happened in Ferguson, what happened in Cleveland, because I'm an Ohio person, because that hit home, because they had a big riot in my town. What happened like in Baton Rouge a couple days, like yesterday. I just wish the government would handle those situations, you know? It's like, can people not get it through their heads that at least something needs to be done about the gun things, you know? That's the only thing about guns that's annoying, is the fact that there's things that you can do and there's things that you can't do with them, you know? And it's like, truthfully, I feel like the guns are not the issue, it's just the people are the issue, you know? But it's like you can't keep records on every single person in the nation, you know? Then you're talking about a freaking, like, good half of the world that you're keeping documents on, you know? But I'm keep getting off track about the actual topic. I feel like, okay, Trump, he has good intentions, it's just certain people don't necessarily like the ideas that he has, you know? Some people feel like he's gonna be like one of those people that like brings the taxes up and everything, and like, let's be honest with ourselves, who really can afford taxes that much? You know, it's like there's certain people who, like, if you're a CEO or if you have like a really good job or whatever, you can afford to do taxes. It's just like for the small business owners and everything, they don't really want that to happen because they already pay enough for taxes and they don't need it to go any higher, you know? And like, I know that from experience with my school's levy, it failed for a good 8 freaking years. And that was because people didn't want the land taxes to go up. Because where I live, there's a lot of farmland. And so farmers didn't want to pay a lot of taxes, you know. And small business owners didn't want to have to pay a lot of taxes either. You know, they wanted to get their taxes back and make money from it, you know. And, like, I feel like they both have the best intentions, but it's just certain people, like, there's a good part of people who like those intentions, and there's a part of people who don't like those intentions, you know? And the reason why people don't like either of the candidates is because they both do stupid things, you know? Like, people don't like the way that Trump treats, you know, foreigners and women, and I don't like the way he treats women either, you know, calling them all those names and everything, because, let's be honest, like, women might do some stupid crap in their lives, but, you know, they do deserve to be treated with respect, you know, regardless of who they are, you know? And then, with Hillary, like with the Watergate situation and the Benghazi situation, and all those things, people don't necessarily trust her in office, plus the Clintons already had their time in office, you know? And it's like, what more could she possibly do, you know? And people like Trump because he's a rich person, he's a business owner, you know, they feel like a business owner, if he could run the country, you know, it would work out better because it would work. But the thing is, the government's never going to work out like a business, you know? It's going to work out like a government, because if it works out like a business, it's going to feel like everyone's going to have their job, and it's like, what if you get fired from that job, you know? Like, it's not like anyone could just do that job, specific people have to do that job, you know? And then, it's like, the only thing about Trump is the fact that it's kind of going to be like it was in Berlin with the Berlin Wall, because he says, oh, I'm going to build a wall so that the foreigners can stay out of the country. And in some ways, okay, I feel like it should be like this. People shouldn't be able to come here unless they have that thing. Granted, I understand it's hard to get one of those. It can take sometimes years to get those visas. And I understand that the foreigners need to make money too. And that's the only thing that's really going to be like upsetting about him building that wall is the fact that I understand certain people don't like it that foreigners come into the country because they think, oh, they take jobs and everything, jobs that we need and stuff, you know. It's like some people aren't qualified to get a job, you know, because some people didn't go to college. And it's not their fault either, you know. It's just I feel like in a way, if either of them gets in office, there's gonna be a big mess somewhere, you know. Something's gonna go wrong with it, you know. It's like, as I said, for this campaign, there's really no right or wrong answer. Because, okay, truthfully, what are they gonna do? Like, what in the world could they do, you know? I mean, Obamacare didn't really do anything good for the country, you know? It made some people, like, not have health care anymore, you know? Like, they can't go to the doctor, and if they go to the doctor, they're paying it all by themselves, you know? They don't have health insurance, you know? It's like, that was a big mess, you know, on the government's part, you know? Because now, certain people can't go to the hospital and, like, just get the care that they need. They can get the care, it just, once they are finished with their care, they have to pay all the money back for themselves, you know? There's no insurance helping them out paying that, you know? And it's like, for Trump, I feel like, you know, the reason why people don't like him is because, okay, as I said, because of the women thing and the foreigners thing and everything like that. And, like, I feel like they both want to get the government out of serious debt that it's in, but, you know, they both have ideas of doing that, and then there's groups of people who don't agree with those ideas, as I said. So it's kind of like you're caught in the middle between the person who's owned a business for a lot of years, but he's cheated on his wives. Granted, that's not going to really do anything in office. I mean, you know, like, who really cares about that? And then there's a lady who has already been in office in a way. She's been a first lady before. And it's kind of like, well, what exactly could you possibly do, you know? It's like, what are you going to do that you haven't already done? And then, I just feel like, first of all, you need to figure out how to keep the country at peace, you know? Because we're already dealing with terrorism overseas and in the country itself. We don't need our own people, own flesh and blood, killing other people. You know, we don't need people killing other people in the country, you know? We already have that happening enough in overseas countries and in our country alone. You know? It's like we just need to get a handle on that situation. And then we can worry about, you know, getting the country out of debt. Because you need everyone to be getting along first before you can make any kind of, like, way of getting people, like, jobs and creating more jobs, you know, and stuff like that. Making sure taxes aren't too darn high and stuff. And it's like, I feel like the wall idea is ridiculous because it's like, I understand some people get here illegally because they don't have visas. They escape across the border without, you know, even going through the border check. But it's like, you know, truthfully, I understand that that's wrong to do, but they have to get money to their family somehow. And in Mexico, there's not a lot of jobs. It's more like desert, you know, and there's a lot of wars going on there, you know. It's like, I feel like there's no place on earth where you're not going to find violence, but it's like, if it's in your own home country, you need to handle that situation first, before you start building a darn freaking wall, before you start worrying about, oh, giving this person this job and giving this person this job. You need to get a handle on the country and make it peaceful, so people can go to school, can go to a freaking movie theater, can just go walking down the street and not have to worry about possibly not going home, you know? Like, parents should be able to send their kids to school and not worry if they're not going to come home or not. You know, people should be able to go to their jobs and not freaking worry about if a plane is going to fly into it. You know, granted, that was a long time ago. It's been almost like 15 years, but it's still on your mind all the time with all the terrorism that's going on and with all the violence that's going on in the country alone. You know, it's like you need to get a handle on that first before you do anything else. You know, it's like I feel like, you know, in a way, Trump, like, if Trump wasn't so harped on the whole wall idea, people would like him more. If he was a little bit more of a respectful man, you know? And Hillary, the thing is, I've never heard much about Hillary, to be honest. Like, the ladies like her because they want a woman to be president, as I said, but that's not the only reason you should want someone to be in office, because they're of the same gender as you. You know? There should be more reason. Like, you should know what their plans are. Like, if they were planning on getting the country at peace with itself, if you're gonna plan on, like, you know, making sure the taxes are at a stable, you know, are at a stable condition, at stable price, so people don't go into debt, you know, and if you're making sure that every state, you know, has a good government and stuff, you know, and if you're making sure that there's enough jobs to go around, and then that overseas we're helping people over there, you know, keeping terrorism out of the country, you know. Because that's the thing, they don't ever really talk about the whole idea of keeping the peace. They talk more about, like, you know, keeping the foreigners out, you know, keeping taxes down, which is, that's a good thing too, but it's like, truthfully, right now, they should be more talking about, like, how they're going to handle the terrorism and handle the violence that's going on in the country, you know? Because, you know, the country needs to be at peace before you can make any decisions on what you're going to do, you know, outside of the country, you know? Like, then you're just asking for disasters to happen. Like, if your actual government country is not, like, it's not at peace, if it's at war, if there's violence going on everywhere, and you're concentrating on things that are going on overseas, you know, granted, you should concentrate on that too, but I mean, if it's not in your physical country, it's not a big deal at the time, you know? It's like you need to make your country at peace, and then you're gonna help the peace overseas. And then later on, think about whatever darn project you want to do with the darn wall. It's like, what is so wrong about the foreigners, you know? What's so wrong about them, you know? It's like, they need a job as much as anyone else does, you know? We all need jobs. We all need to make a living. We all need to make money. We all need to pay our bills. We all need to support our families, you know? They might not be from our country, they may not speak our same language, but they may not be of the same skin color, but let's be honest, okay? We are not back in the 1960s, people. We are not back at segregation time, you know? It's like everyone's life matters, you know? It's like your life is as much important as, you know, a foreigner's life, you know? It's like a white life as much as a African American life, as much as a Mexican life, you know, they all matter, you know. It's like it's not just about the fact that people, you know, automatically think like, okay, person who's African American walks into a store, they're gonna steal something. Not true, you know. It's like just because they look a certain way or just because they may, like, you know, talk a certain way doesn't mean anything, you know? It's like, not everyone's rich, not everyone's wealthy, not everyone wears a suit every darn wear, you know? People like wearing t-shirts and baggy jeans and sneakers, you know? It's like, everyone's life matters, you know? Like, why do we need a wall, you know? Why do we need a wall? Like, who cares, you know? It's like, it might be hard to understand them because they don't speak the same language and they don't have time to learn the same language as us because they have to work, you know? Is like, that's the thing. If we had a stable amount of jobs everywhere, and if taxes wouldn't keep going up, then maybe it wouldn't be such a big deal to have a darn wall. You know? So yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. Otherwise, I'm gonna go on a big rant again. But there's my opinion. I kind of talked about everything about the government and campaign this year, but there's my opinion. So if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you have a comment, or if you like to say your opinion or whatever, then comment down below. And if you'd like to see when I upload a video, then please subscribe also down below. And I will see you guys soon.